Okay, Raven, I'm going to make this little video for you just to sort of show you what Darkest Dungeon is about. So, you have these different kinds of adventures. Everyone has their own weaknesses and skills. You only take in 4 at a time. And if you look over at the bottom right, you see the map. That's sort of the layout of the dungeon. It's not always laid out that way. If you press down on the D-pad, you'll see your inventory. I didn't have a lot of money to bring shit, so I'm very light, but hopefully I'll find more resources inside. And, alrighty. And in you go. Or in we go. I can't go for a single evening walk without being jumped by a bunch of whatever the fuck these are. I really like this chick. She's the grave robber. That's the bounty hunter. He looks more Viking. The cultist is somewhat,
confidence surges as the
you gotta play him just right, because he can be the healer, but every time he heals you, you actually start bleeding whenever he heals your wounds, which seems very counterproductive. Oh, and they added a more DLC, so now I have a musketeer and a couple other new adventures to use.
Annihilated.
There's actually a lot of strategy involved with this game. It's not just, you know, their talents. Like, everyone has a preferred position in the lineup. They can do some stuff if they're in the lead that they can't do if they're in the back. Like right now, I can heal a wound, but I can't attack this guy because I'm in the 4th position. I could before because there was more than one target, but now there's only a single target. I can't attack them, so I'm just gonna move him here, and that takes a turn. Now, if you look underneath everyone's health bar, you see those little white squares. That's basically stress, which is another thing that I get at work in real life. But anywho, every little square has like a little hollow. So once it gets all the way filled up, then it'll go back and it'll fill in those little spots on the white squares. And if that maxes all the way out, you'll basically, your character will start to have a heart attack.
Press disadvantage.
Yeah.
Give them
so
no
you have
quarter.
to constantly heal them. And whenever you go back to the hamlet, which is like your HQ, for lack of a better term, you have to like make sure everyone's like has their stress relief. So like some people will drink in the tavern, or they'll gamble in the tavern, or they'll go to the brothel in the tavern. They have a sanitarium, which is basically the medical ward and also the psych ward. So you can treat them for their PTSD, the diseases they catch. You have a church, which some of the more religiously inclined characters will go in there to break out, get rid of stress. They can like pray, or they'll meditate, or they'll literally whip themselves like the penance hall. There's a training barracks and a forge to upgrade skills and armor and whatnot. But yeah, I play this game a lot, but I just recently got back into it. But basically, you're just trying to your ancestor. He got out to some no good. Let's just say that, and he dug underneath his estate and found an eldritch being, and now everything kind of sucks. And these are all the dungeons that are like infected with all kinds of monsters and whatnot. And you're his long lost relative, and you've inherited it. And so basically, you're just recruiting adventurers to, you know, clean out everything and try and make your family name good again. See that right there? That was my character getting stressed. That little crown that appeared over his head.
The ground quakes. As the fiend
And if
falls,
their stress gets way
pink
too
hope
high,
blossoms.
before you will have a heart attack, your character will get a quirk. Now, some quirks are positive, you know, it'd be like resolute or something like that. But then others will become, will have like a negative quirk, where they'll become abusive or selfish, or you know, there's got to be like 24 different quirks.
Teetering on the brink,
Yeah.
facing the abyss.
He's about to go. I'm just going to heal myself and hopefully I won't bleed. Oh, it only gave me 2 health points. That sucks. Okay. Alrighty. Let's try. Right. So if you see that little green droplet underneath that monster, that's blight. Basically, I've poisoned him. Hopefully I can heal this character again. It gave me 10 that time. And it resisted the bleed, so my character's not bleeding. Oh yeah.
A hand's breadth from becoming
I would have brought in a
unwound.
better healer, but everyone was stressed at the Hamlet, so a lot of them were drinking their troubles away. Well, drinking and screwing, you know how it is.
Monstrous size
Musketeer
has no
coming in clutch.
intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Alright, this guy's looking a bit snackish, so I'm going to give him some food. You can only eat so much at a time. And it's getting kind of dark. If you look at the very top, you see that torch, the little health bar for the torch is going down. So the screen will actually get darker. And as it gets darker, most of your characters will become more stressed and more, like, frightened. Now, there are quirks where people will be, like, nocturnal, where if the torch is above 75%, they'll be sluggish and they won't be able to dodge very well. And then there's ones where it's like, if it's too dark, they'll get even more stressed than a normal character would. So what I'm doing is I'm moving my inventory around. I'm gonna light a couple of torches, you know, and as you see, like as it got brighter, you can hear the squeals of the pig people in the background are diminished. But when it goes completely dark, you like really hear them. They're like constantly screeching. Like it's kind of like in the Lord of the Rings when the Fellowship were going into the mines of Moria. You hear all the goblins screeching. Yeah, it's basically like that situation. All right. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, shouldn't have drank that. And that's a trap I saw the last
Cruel
second.
machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
Luckily, I
Such
brought a
blockages
shovel,
are unsurprising.
but that actually consumes the
These
shovel, so I
tunnels
can get rid of that
predate even
there.
the earliest
See, it's getting
settlers.
dark again. Oh, and this is part of the DLC. So they had this thing where there's like these vampiric bug people, So they have their own map for this, but they're also appearing in other dungeons that they normally wouldn't. Every dungeon has its own theme. Like this one is like an underground dungeon, so it's filled with like pig people and boar people and stuff, and they're kind of like the island of Dr. Monroe, but with a slightly satanic twist to it. Yep, and there they are. So I'm definitely going to get rid of that mosquito first, because part of the DLC is that they can affect your character's currently uncurable trait where they become bloodthirsty. And I'm pretty sure the characters are turning into like vampire bug people or something. But see, that's a trait. That's a quirk. Stalwart. He became stalwart.
Many fall in the face of chaos.
And that's actually a positive. So they'll say stuff, and that might actually relieve some of the stress of people. Like it bolsters them. But if someone gets a negative quirk, they'll say like really random odd shit, and the rest of the party will start to freak out because like, what the fuck is he talking about? You know, like he's saying weird shit. You know.
Continue the onslaught.
You just have to constantly maintain
them all.
The health and also mental health of your party. And when a character dies, there's a 99.99% chance that they are permanently dead. There is something that'll happen randomly where you'll be able to get a character back, but it's very random. Once they're dead, they're pretty much gone.
Returns even the boldest gaze.
Now that tentacle will actually drag someone in the back forward, and it will actually get rid of the corpses of the enemies. The corpses will actually block the enemies that are behind them. So like that's part of the strategy of the game. You may not be able to hit an enemy that's like, you know, hidden behind a corpse, so that tentacle will actually get rid of the dead bodies on the battlefield. Oh, okay. See, Crimson Curse, that's the vampire thing, so she's permanently infected now so far. And now he is too. Okay, so shit, that sucks. This is why they usually bring the occultist. His healing ability is very, like, I'm stitching up your wounds, but now you're bleeding out. That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Now you look underneath the musketeer in the back, you can see like one of those squares filled up, so. Man, I hate mosquitoes. And now you see right there, he said something really positive, and some of his stress went away. So he lost the filled-in square and two more of the unfilled-in squares. So that's why having certain quirks are really good.
Obliterated. A trifling victory. but a victory nonetheless.
I think I'm gonna camp here for a bit.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
I guess ran out of food. That sucks. Everyone's going hungry tonight.
Sets in,
I'd say they all got stressed because of lack of food. And he just got hopeless, which is a negative quirk. So he'll start saying shit that's like really depressing, and that will actually cause other people to get more stressed. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna use some of my camping skills to sort of chill people out. So pep talk, 1 companion, 15% less stress, 14 battles. This is how we do it. Shuffling, tracking, scout ahead. Yeah, alright. Let's see here. Ooh, this is not good. I don't have a lot of first aid stuff on a lot of these characters. All companions, 20% health. Yes, thank you. That will help out a lot. And if you look at the very top of the screen, you see respite. You have a certain number of points. You can only, once you spend all of them, you can't do anymore. And every time you choose one, you can't use it again. So like, I already did wound care, so I can't use that now. And the cost was 2 points. Clean musket, that's just like the buff your gun. Field dressing, 1 companion. I wish I could apply that to myself. You see, like, thing about the occultist, like, he's summoning dark spirits and shit. So, like, even though he's helpful, it's like it always costs something. So he gets stressed much more, and he's like, you gotta play him right. See, like, reduce torchlight by 100, plus 15 stress. Okay, so it got dark, everyone's getting stressed, but 1 companion gets 50% of their health back. Okay. Gallus humor, self only, minus 15 stress. All companions, 75% chance to get negative 20 stress, but a 25% chance to get 10 stress. So, see how it goes. I think the musketeer is gonna go first. Alright, so I spent all my points, whereas sometimes you'll have like 1 or 2 points left, I guess, but that's not enough to buy whatever you're using. But since I got it down to 0, I'm just gonna rest now. See, everyone's getting fucking stressed. And yeah. See, there's nothing for it now. We ran out of wood to burn, so.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
But sometimes your characters will actually go to bed and then they'll wake up like being jumped in the night. Okay. See what I mean? Pig people. And that one lunatic in the back, he's just gonna start screaming random shit. I think I'm just gonna poison him right out. That little deformed shit is so hard to hit. You wouldn't think that somebody that walks only on their hands is agile, but he dodges attacks all the time.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Alright, I'm pretty sure that Blight's gonna finish off that lunatic, so I think I'm going to... Well, actually, no. I'm gonna drag his ass. Or I was gonna...
Death by inches.
That works. Let's try and patch this wound. Come on, I'll heal you. He didn't bleed, that's good.
Grievous injury.
Damn it.
Palpable fear. Injury and despondence. Set
I'm not
the
playing around
stage for
anymore.
heroism or cowardice.
He just punched the dead thing. Alright, so I stopped her bleeding. See, the health bar on the dead little pig guy, it's lowering. So once that lowers, his corpse will disappear, and that'll free up some attacks. See, I can't shoot the guy in the front. I can only aim at the two dead things, so I need to go to a different attack. But again, it depends on where he's positioned in the group and where the other target is positioned. So, see, I can use my pistol on him. Oh yeah, patch up. Okay, you see, I tried to give him some first aid, but because he has his quirk, his negative quirk, he refused it, so... I guess I'll patch up her. I probably should have just shot his ass. Alright, the occultist is stunned, but his stun's over.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
So we've opened up some more of the map. Man, my bounty hunter is gonna fucking perish. I'm just gonna leave.
A setback, but not the end of things.
So here we see some of the quirks that characters got. So the red ones are obviously negative, and the gold ones are kind of good. So yeah, not exactly the most successful mission,
Curiosity, interest,
but that's
and
how it goes
obsession.
in Darkest Dungeon.
Mile
These
markers
shimmering
on
colors
my
of the
road
comet
to
fractures
damnation.
can bring a sense of peace. Alright, purchase crystal. Okay. Alright, so everyone got less stress. Okay, that's good. We're just staring at crystals now. So yeah, here's the hamlet. So you got the little survivalist camp. You can work on camp skills, you know, first aid, and give it to other characters. Here's a stagecoach where you actually get new adventures. You can see the little number on the left of them. That's their skill. It goes up to 6. Oops, wrong button. Tavern, you know, bar, gambling hall, brothel, sanitarium, treatment ward, medical ward, abbey, which is cloister, transept, and penance hall. Here's the guild where you upgrade your weapons, or I'm sorry, skills, and blacksmith where you upgrade your weapons and armor. Here's the nomad wagon where you can get like little trinkets to put on your characters. They buff, but they also have some negative traits sometimes. It's like this one gives you a 20% bleed resist, but it takes away 2 points off dodge. Oh, the graveyard where you see all your fallen heroes. That's the first one that I really liked, and he died. Slain by a vile brigand fusilier. Okay. And then here's the Ancestors' Memories, where you can actually
In time, you will
listen to
know
all
the
the dialogue
tragic
from your
extent of my
ancestor
failings.
that started all this shit. Yeah, so that's the game, and they just added more shit, like I said. So now I can make more buildings. I don't know if I can visually see them other than here, but yeah, man, it's a good game to if you just want to like chill a little bit. It's not a bad game. I like it, and they made a sequel, and I don't know about the sequel, but I think it's like just basically the same story but with better graphics. Yeah, so hopefully that that helps, and all right, I'll catch you on another game sometime.